All right, let's cut through the noise. I know, you see the price charts flashing 24/7, all the headlines screaming about the latest market swing. But look, beyond all that chaos, there's something much, much bigger happening. It's a quiet revolution. And it's not just about digital money anymore. We're talking about a fundamental shift that's literally rebuilding our world's infrastructure and redrawing the entire global power map as we know it.
You've seen the headlines, right? You remember the NFT craze back in 2021? The meme coins that just pop out of nowhere every few months. These were the big, flashy waves of crypto that caught everyone's attention. They were loud, they were spectacular, and honestly, they were kind of like the first draft, a rough sketch of what this tech could really do.
But what if while all of us were watching that circus, the real revolution was being built, quietly, in the background? This one isn't about speculation or hype. It's about real, tangible utility. And this movement, it isn't just happening in the digital cloud. It's happening under your feet. It's in your home. It's shaping your community.
So what is this next wave exactly? Well, it's all about real-world application. We're finally moving past digital collectibles. Now it's about using the blockchain to build smarter, more transparent systems for everything. Physical infrastructure, our financial system, even how we interact online. This is the moment, you could say, where the digital world finally gets its boots dirty in the real world.
And this whole new wave, it's really standing on three massive pillars that are already picking up some serious steam. First, you've got DePIN. That's all about crowdsourcing physical stuff. Then there's RWA tokenization, which is basically digitizing any real-world asset you can think of. And finally, SocialFi, which is set to completely flip social media on its head. So let's break each of these down, one by one.
Okay, first up is DePIN. And I'm going to say it, this might be the single most important sector in all of crypto right now. DePIN stands for Decentralized Physical Infrastructure Networks. And no, this has nothing to do with digital coins. This is about decentralizing the physical things we all touch and use every single day.
So how does it work? It's actually a pretty genius idea. DePIN projects use crypto tokens to reward regular people, like you and me, for contributing resources we already have. Think about your unused computer storage or extra internet bandwidth. Instead of one giant company like Amazon owning all the data centers or Verizon owning all the cell towers, a DePIN network allows us to build it together. It's a people-powered network, and we get paid to be a part of it.
And believe me, this isn't some tiny niche idea. We're talking about a sector that's already estimated to be worth a staggering $2.2 trillion. And the projections, they show it growing to $3.5 trillion by 2028. That's not just a trend, folks. That's an absolute economic powerhouse being built right before our eyes.
And this isn't just theory, okay? This is happening right now, with major projects making a real impact. You've got Filecoin, which is building a decentralized version of cloud storage, a direct challenge to giants like Amazon and Google. Then there's HiveMapper. They're literally paying people to put dash cams in their cars to map the entire world, creating a crowdsourced competitor to Google Maps. Or look at Render Network, which lets anyone rent out their spare GPU power, basically creating a global supercomputer for digital artists and creators. It's incredible stuff.
All right, on to our second pillar, RWA, or Real-World Asset Tokenization. Now, if DePIN is about rebuilding the physical world, RWA is about building a massive, super strong bridge, a bridge from the world of traditional finance, we're talking hundreds of trillions of dollars, directly onto the blockchain.
The idea itself is pretty simple, but the implications are absolutely revolutionary. You take a real, tangible asset, like a US Treasury bond, a skyscraper in New York, a business loan, even a piece of fine art, and you turn the ownership rights into a digital token on the blockchain. So each token is like a digital deed, a legally backed piece of that real-world thing.
And why does this matter? Well, the advantages over the old way of doing things are just huge. Think about it. For decades, if you wanted to invest in, say, a private credit fund or get a piece of a big commercial building, you had to be super wealthy. It was a closed club. RWA tokenization just shatters those walls. It opens up these markets to everyone, creates 24/7 trading, cuts out a ton of expensive middlemen, and makes everything radically transparent because it's all on a public ledger.
And look, you don't have to take my word for it. The biggest names in traditional finance are already all over this. We're talking JP Morgan Chase. They see a future where all these assets are transacting seamlessly, automatically. This isn't some far-off sci-fi dream. This is the blueprint for the next generation of finance, and they're drawing it up right now.
Okay, that brings us to our third and final pillar, SocialFi.
It's short for social finance. So let's recap. DePIN is rebuilding the physical world, RWA is rebuilding the financial world, while SocialFi is here to rebuild our digital world, our online communities, and the entire creator economy.
You know the deal with social media today, right? For years, the unwritten rule has been, if the product is free, you are the product. Our data gets scraped, packaged, and sold to the highest bidder. SocialFi completely flips that script. It takes social media and blends it with the core ideas of Web3, which means you finally get ownership. Ownership of your data, your content, and your digital identity.
And let me tell you, people are hungry for this change. The demand is absolutely exploding. Analysts are projecting this market to hit nearly $62 billion by 2034. And what's driving that? It's simple. People are just fed up. They're tired of how the big tech giants handle their data, and they want to take back control. So what does that actually look like in practice? Well, for one, these platforms are built to be censorship resistant. But the real game changer is for creators. They get full control over their content. And, this is the big one, they can monetize it directly. No more giant platform taking a massive 30 or 40% cut. You can use social tokens, NFTs, whatever. It creates a direct financial link between a creator and the people who actually support them.
So, let's step back for a second and look at the whole picture. You've got decentralized infrastructure, you've got tokenized real-world value, and you have user-owned social networks. When you put these three massive trends together, what do you get? You get a fundamental shift in global power. This is the moment these ideas stop being niche experiments and start being adopted by the world's biggest institutions and even governments.
Yeah, this right here, this is the inflection point. This is that critical moment where all these theories and white papers converge and become reality. On a global scale, that silent revolution we talked about, well, it's not so silent anymore. And you can bet the biggest players on the planet are starting to pay very close attention.
Need proof? Just look at BlackRock. We're talking about the largest asset manager on Earth. They just launched a tokenized fund called BUIDL right on the public Ethereum blockchain, and it pulled in over $1 billion in just a few months. Now listen, when the biggest of the big boys in traditional finance starts putting assets on chain, that's not an experiment. That is a statement of intent.
And it's not just Wall Street, it's entire nations. Take Dubai. The government there just announced a massive $16 billion project to tokenize real estate. Now, anyone in the world can buy a piece of property in Dubai for as little as $500. This is a country, a government, using this RWA technology as a strategic tool to pull in capital from all over the globe.
Okay, so let's tie this all together. What have we seen? First, there's the decentralized infrastructure. Through DePIN, the very foundations of our physical world are being rebuilt, owned not by some faceless corporation, but by the people who actually use it.
Second, we have digitized assets. With RWA tokenization, every form of value is moving onto the blockchain. Real estate, private credit, you name it. It's making the entire financial system more open, more fluid, and way more transparent.
And third, there's the new social fabric. With SocialFi, we are fundamentally redesigning our digital lives. We're moving towards an internet where we, the users, are back in the driver's seat, in control of our data, our content, and our communities.
DePIN, RWA, and SocialFi. These aren't three separate trends, they're three powerful forces converging. And together, they're building a more open, more equitable world. And look, this isn't some forecast for 2030. This isn't a prediction. It's happening right now, quietly, powerfully, all around us. The future of money isn't coming. It's already here.